there's just something about, like, he entered into the worst of it. You know, we're as this episode airs, we're right on the edge of Lent. And, you know, we're preparing to enter into this long season of, it's not a season of self-punishment. It's a season of, in many ways, it's a season of romance, of being stripped of our idols, of being won back over to the heart of Christ. But what will win me back over to the heart of Christ in the end is a clear vision of the madness of this love that went to a place. He entered into his own Auschwitz for me, to save me, so that he would accompany me in my own worst of it all. It's just amazing that we have a God who suffers.
Yeah, that's the scandal. That's the scandal of the gospel, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That he becomes this brutalized mess, crowned, beaten, slapped, bleeding. Yeah, I think that's what stirred, like, this sort of a dualistic heresy that we've fallen into, that, you know, the body is just you know, and God's pure spirit and he's way up there. That's what causes us to ask these questions, like, where is God? But he answers that question, just as you said, by stepping into the mess, by taking the hits. Pope Benedict, I think, talks about this, where he says, can there be beauty, or something like that? Can there be beauty after Auschwitz, after the camps?
Yeah.
And this is the actual point where the Via Pulchritudinis, the way of beauty, meets the Via Crucis, the way of the cross. Like, bam, right here. He is the all beautiful one, who is also the one we can't even look at. Yeah.
I remember when I took your Way of Beauty course at Malvern, whatever that was, 2019 or whatever.
Yep.
I remember, I don't know if that I'm sure that was something that you drew out, but that
it is in there.
Stunning realization that, like, the Via Pulchritudinis, where does this eventually lead you? To the Via Crucis. Like, and it's so paradoxical, right? Because, you know, your heart begins to awaken with all of these objectively beautiful things, and they're singing to you and awakening you and having you, like, walk along this path, and they're leading you finally where? To Golgotha, where beauty itself is pierced and scourged and crowned and mocked and spit upon, right? Like, this is why Dr. Peter Crave says, the Passion of the Christ is simultaneously the most beautiful film that's ever been made and the most hideous film that's ever been made.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Because it's out of the crucified. I mean, the crucified is the most beautiful. But it's so paradoxical.
Yeah, and it's like he's the God of paradox. Like, he does this all the time because it's a fallen world. I think because we, you know, stupidly gave it all away by inflating ourselves over him, right? By this whole grasping, that he has to come into this insane mess that we've made and flip it. And so this is what he does. This is the paradox, that he would do this. And it's such a, like, this is what Tolkien calls the eucatastrophe. This is the sudden moment where it seems all is lost, and this is the most hideous, nightmare, disaster, failure, flipped, and then there's victory, and all things are made new. You know, in the Mel Gibson film, The Passion of the Christ, people are stunned when he drops that phrase right in the middle of the Via Dolorosa, the carrying of the cross, where Jesus says to Mary in the film, "Mother, behold, I make all things new." Yeah. I make all things new right here. I mean, if that doesn't comfort anybody listening right now, watching, if you're on the cross, you are not alone. That's a trite expression we've heard a million times, right? But you are not alone. Where is God? Literally, he's interwoven into your suffering, and you're woven into him. He's right there.